know, it's just on 25 years since I drove this car, and she's just as good as I remember. Superb to handle. Most responsive, handle, you can place her on the throttle and everything, and a true road racing car. A car that was built actually for circuits like Nürburgring, and actually this is a bit like Nürburgring, absolutely sensational. The car was probably the finest road racing car of its time. It did win the World Championship, and it was absolutely beautiful to drive, and it's just as good now. Well, now over here, here's another very beautiful car, which I have fond memories of. This was actually the first car in the world ever to win a race with disc brakes. I think it was June of 1951, actually, when the C-Type Jag raced at Reims, and I was lucky enough to be driving it then. Absolutely fabulous car, an even better road racing car probably than the D-Type, which of course was his younger brother. But this car was brought up on roads as against Le Mans only, although of course we did race at Le Mans, and I think I got the fastest lap with it one year. Well, here is what must be the most famous Jaguar of all, of course, the D-Type, a three-time winner of Le Mans, and a fantastic machine. I can tell you this car will do about 170 or more, and I remember in 1954, I think, when I was part of the team, going along to the scrutineering, we had three cars, then of course they were green, this is a blue one from Ecosse, but the three cars that I felt terribly proud to be the driver of one of these cars. Very, very aerodynamically stable, perfect brakes, because by the time the D-Type came, we'd sorted out the problems of the C-Type brakes. Fantastic machine. Well, the Maserati 300S, probably my favorite car for just the fun of driving. Italian car, didn't have the brakes of the English cars, of course, because they were drums, but it handled extremely well, probably as good as the DBR1, and that's saying something. I can tell you that I raced this car, I think, in the Nürburgring 1,000 kilometers, was lucky enough to win that, and also the Caracas or Venezuelan Grand Prix. Well, I think probably the greatest car of that era, and a fabulous era it was, the 50s for sports cars, was the Mercedes 300 SLR. A car that I'm glad to say I was connected with in winning the Mille Miglia, the Targa Florio, and the TT, and of course it gave Mercedes the World Championship of sports cars, but that car was fantastic. It wasn't as easy to drive as some of the other ones, but it was always reliable.